Well, good morning. It is Saturday, August 22nd. I am not driving at the moment. We are leaving our lovely B&B in Invergary and hitting the road. We're headed to Skye. So we're hoping for sunny weather, or at least no rain. We pulled over to the side of the road. This is the Glengarry viewpoint. The lake down there is Loch Garry. Loch Garry. All right, now this is a viewpoint. We actually pulled into, it's not an official parking spot, but yeah, this is a view. Again, this is Glengarry. All right, this is one of the iconic Scottish scenes, the Eilean Donan Castle. And of course, let's go up. There it is. And then the ever-present Piper. All right, we are in the visitor center. They've got more gifts and a food hall. They've got a coffee shop and another gift shop. And we are not going in the castle, but here's what's inside. And I'm sure Chip couldn't, I don't think it's probably accessible. Let's put it that way. So I walked in the food hall, and of course, there's whiskey and gin and beer, but really lovely items. Huh. Let's go on in here. There's the cafe. Ooh, heather honey. Ooh. All right. Okay, this is a performance just for me. Without all the tourists around. So beautiful. Again, we stopped at a viewpoint, but I love this. These folks in front of us have just married. And there's the beautiful purple heather on the hillside that's falling down. Okay, we are at the Loch Elsh viewpoint. And you can see the Five Sisters over there. And the Isle of Skye is straight ahead. And Skye Bridge, I'm gonna do a view of Skye Bridge. There is a lighthouse out here. There's a little lighthouse. And then over in the distance is the bridge over to the Isle of Skye. So I'm very excited about this. We've been to Skye one time, and it was a day trip on the tour we took with Alex. And it was like Hawaii. It was just, you couldn't see anything. It was raining, and anyway, beautiful viewpoint. So we are on Skye now. We have been riding the ridges. And it is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Lots of cars though. Right, we are waiting in line. It's a one-lane road because of road construction. But we are just about ready to get into Portree. And I do believe, I'm taking this through the windshield, that little needle-like thing pointing up is one of the famous sites that people hike to. It's like 40 minutes up and 30 minutes back, so I probably won't be doing that. But it's the Old Man of something, but I'm getting my old men mixed up, so I'll look that up and find out. This is our stop, the Isle of Skye Candle Company. We went into Portree and it was pretty crowded. with tourists. And a Gate 1 bus had just pulled up and disgorged a whole bus full of passengers. So instead of trying to figure out lunch in Portree, we just came to the candle place because they have a restaurant and a cafe. But this is the view from the candle shop. It's gorgeous. And we are having lunch in the restaurant, which is really, really large. But there's Chip, and that's our view. Not bad. And this is the candle making place, which of course they have other beautiful, beautiful gifts. Honestly, I've never been anywhere where every single gift shop was amazing. I mean, just what they had was, oh look, we have the Highland Soap Company. Aww. And that is the Old Man of Store that we're not going to hike to because it's quite a hike, but it's supposed to be incredibly beautiful, the scenery up there. Again, just beautiful, beautiful things in the gift shop. All right, this is lunch. The soup of the day is beetroot and parsnip. And Chip got a BLT, and it's beautiful. Well, we have driven across Skye, basically Portree, drove straight across, and we have arrived at Dunvegan Castle. So we're going to take a look at that. And of course, there's a gift shop and cafe, which I'm very anxious to go in the gift shop. A good view of the castle. Well, a semi-view of the castle. And it is the longest inhabited castle, or the castle in Scotland that is still inhabited. And for 800 years, it was the home of the clan MacLeod. So there you go. And there is the castle. And they have seal boats. Ooh, maybe we'll see seals. All right, we have got Chip settled in a room. Yeah, he can't go up. It's funny, they didn't make these old castles built like in the 1300s. They didn't make them accessible. I don't understand. I'm kidding. All right, I am in. That's the crest. It's a bull, and I got a whole story about that. And here's the entry steps. And Chip is in this little room there. So you can see how thick the walls are. And that looks like the MacLeod family silver. But yeah, super thick walls, obviously added heating later. You can see the pipes run externally, because what do you do when you have a stone castle? Holy moly, this is the dining room. And this whole place has been, is covered with pictures of the different wives and lairds of the clan. And this is the view out of the dining room window. Okay, this is Norman. He was the 22nd chief of MacLeod. He was born in 1706. He died in 1772. And they called him the Wicked Man. He was against Parliament voting after Culloden. He was in Parliament. He was against the ban on tartan. They passed it anyway, so he had this picture done in defiance of them. So the tartans back then looked a lot different. That was his first wife, who they say died after he had her thrown in the dungeon. And that was his second wife, right there. Intrigue. And this is the library. It said it was constructed in the mid-1800s on the foundation of Rory Moore's house. And I think I read about that. Rory Moore, built in 1636. And it linked to older buildings, the Castle Keep built in 1360, and the Fairy Tower. And they say that this is the current chieftain's favorite room, and this is where they celebrate Christmas. And I'm loving me the peacock chair. That was done in 2014. And this bedroom is in the Fairy Tower, which was built in the 1500s. And there's a flag associated with the family called the fairy flag that is supposedly brings the family good luck. And this is an old spiral staircase that's original to the Fairy Tower that is still used. There's a room above the bedroom I was just in. It is a sitting room for the family that they use even now. But I don't know if they go up this way. And again, there are all kinds of portraits in the hallways. Most of them are the family, different chiefs and their wives. Back to the silver. And again, all the portraits. Oh, and we're in the round part. Chip is below us. And this is the fairy flag. There's multiple versions about how this came to be. Sorry about the finger. How this came to be here. They've dated it to 4th century Syria. It's silk. And there's a variety of stories of how this came to be. The current, I'm not sure which one had it conserved and mounted at a museum in London, the Victoria and Albert, and they were talking about where it came from, and the current clan chief said, pardon me, but I know where it came from. It was given to my ancestors by the fairies. So there you go. Anyway, so this is the drawing room where the fairy flag is. At the time, this was originally built in the 1200s. Stone walls, big room, like twice as high, fireplaces at each end. This was redone in the mid-1800s, and it's a delightful room. I'm loving the floors. Okay, this room was built as a barracks room by one of the chieftains. When the military use for it ended, oh, I love the skylight, they made a billiards room out of it. Oh, that's kind of cool. Highland Regiment in 1870. This whole case is Flora MacDonald's things that belong to Flora MacDonald. Now, who she was, we got to revisit Bonnie Prince Charlie again. After his defeat in Culloden, he ran around the Highlands for about 5 months to avoid getting caught. And he was eventually smuggled to the Isle of Skye by Flora MacDonald, dressed as one of her maids. So Flora ended up living her final years in this castle. Her daughter was married to the illegitimate son of the current MacLeod chief. And she is buried here in Skye. So she's very famous, Flora MacDonald. There is a picture of Bonnie Prince Charlie. We have not been able to get away from him. He started our trip in Culloden, and he is ending our trip in Skye. And this room is packed with people. Oh my God. And everybody decided to come in here. And here's a bunch of stuff from MacLeod history. We got some bagpipe from the late 1700s. And there's a sporran with the bull on it. Evidently, the legend is the third MacLeod chief got into a wrestling match with a bull. Not sure how that happened, but he started to lose. But the people of the clan told him to hold fast. So that is their motto: hold fast. And there's an old picture of the castle. There's the keep, And there's the other part, or maybe, no, that's the ferry tower. And that's the keep. And then they connected it. And then that's kind of what it ended up looking like. And we are entering the dungeon area. Yikes. Yeah. It looks very dungeony. And then, I'm not sure what's down there. I see some light. Maybe that's where the really bad people were. And there's the lid that goes over it. Okay, I'm leaving. Well, this is like upstairs, downstairs. This is where the servants hung out. And they went back and forth. Yeah, they went back and forth from the kitchen to the drawing room to the dining room. And this is the great sword of Dunvegan. It was made sometime before 1528. And it was just to show power, the power the clan had. And there we have some, I can't remember what that's called. It's the protective covering made out of metal. So when people stuck swords in you, I don't know though, it has a hole down there at the bottom. Ooh. And then there's the Dunvegan Pictish stone. Oh, it dates to around 1000 AD. And there's my namesake. There's Margaret. She was the wife of the 15th Lord. Okay, and this was the butler's bell box. And whenever somebody in a room pressed the button for the servant, the flag would flutter, and I guess someone watched it all the time and sent a servant up to that room. And this would be a housemaid's room. Oh, well, a modern housemaid who had a Singer sewing machine. All right, we left the castle, and now we are driving towards where our little B&B is. You can see a little bit of sunlight. I love the flat tops. I'm sure there's a name for these guys. All right, we have gone way out of our way to see the fairy pools, and I don't know if we'll be able to hike up there. This is the landscape around it, but that's the fairy pool. All right, so we parked the car. It's quite a hike. Quite a hike to the fairy pool. All right, you can see there's the, well, let me do a distance. There we go. Okay, there's the road. And you go way down there. And then way up. And there we go. So we are at a little restaurant, and I cannot pronounce its name. How do you pronounce the restaurant's name?
Eilean.
Okay. Eilean. All right. And we got Cullen skink on that side, and a lovely salad on that side, and we've got some bread. So we're going to chow down. We had a little fender bender when we got gas. A car driven by a lovely French couple backed into our car. So we have a little fender bender, and we're going to talk to the rental car company, and we got all the information from the French couple. So yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, we got very excited when our other dishes arrived, and so I didn't film them. We just ate them, but they were equally delicious. We had venison meatballs and these salmon belly chili bites, and really good. So this is my dessert. I am breaking my sticky toffee pudding tradition and having kranachen. Basically, it's just stuff on top of cream, so you can just eat the cream. And then Chip has a coffee hazelnut cheesecake, which looks delicious too. And this is the restaurant. This is the ceiling in the restaurant. It's really lovely. They're right next to a distillery. This is the restaurant from the outside. It is very unassuming and doesn't really have the name of the restaurant on it, so it's a little confusing. Well, we have made it to our little pod. It's really cute. This is the view we have. Not bad. The name of the little B&B, we don't get breakfast though, but our little pod, you can see two other little pods there. We're in Aurora Skye, and it's adorable. It's got a nice television. It's nice and toasty cozy, like this full kitchenette kind of thing. A queen-size bed, a sofa bed, and a lovely bathroom with a towel rack. This is like really nice. And a shower. I mean, let's see. There's the sink. It's really nice.